Hey y'all, my name is Lisa Saris. I'm a Norwex independent sales consultant and super excited to get to share with you guys tonight a few of my favorite things about Norwex. I learned about Norwex from a Facebook party, so this is one of my favorite ways to party. My sister was the host of the party. I was super skeptical, so if you're skeptical, I was right there with you. In fact, I spent the week trying to prove her wrong, watching video after video, trying to find a reason why I was not going to buy from her party. But we saw a couple of videos that actually convinced us to make a purchase. We bought 2 cloths, and those 2 cloths forever changed our lives. So my husband, Phil, actually fell in love with Norwex first. I'll tell you that story in a little bit. 2 weeks later, I hosted a party. It's a great way to get a lot of Norwex for free and to share our Norwex mission with your friends and family. And 2 weeks after that, I signed up as a consultant, and the rest is history. So I'm going to share with you guys my 5 favorite products tonight that come in our Safe Haven 5 starter set. And then I'm also going to show you guys the mop because it's the mop. It's the most coveted item. And it's just an awesome tool to have for your house. So we're going to end with the mop at the very end. Typically, when I get started, I get asked, what makes Norwex microfiber special? So why Norwex? And this was something that we've researched a lot before we got started with Norwex too. So to be considered microfiber, something has to be 1/6 the size of a human hair. And Norwex microfiber is actually 1/200th the size of a human hair. So that's like taking 1 strand of hair, splitting it into 200 pieces, and that's how finely woven our cloths are. In fact, if you took this Envirrocloth, this is your everything cloth, and you stretched it out, you could literally go from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico with the fibers within this cloth. Our microfiber also has the ability to remove up to 99% of bacteria from a surface when following proper care and use instructions. And our cloths, one of my favorite things about our cloths is that many of our cloths have what we call backlock. And if your cloth has backlock, it'll say it on the tag. That's a microsilver agent embedded into the cloth for self-purifying purposes only. So the cloths are able to inhibit the growth of mold, fungus, and bacterial odors within the cloth within 24 hours. So it's basically self-purifying it so that it's ready to go again. So this is our Envirrocloth. It's your everything cloth. You can clean about 90% of your home with Norwex cloths and water. And for the other 10%, we have lots of great different types of cleaners that take out a lot of the toxic chemicals out and make it so that you can still clean your home for those harder to get areas like maybe soap scum, hard water stains, inside your oven, things like that. So the Envirrocloth is your everything cloth. If you get nothing else, get an Envirrocloth because it'll change the way you clean forever. The Envirrocloth's best friend is our window cloth. And our window cloth was actually our first love. I got a window cloth because I had a love-hate relationship with my stainless steel. Anybody else out there? So we got a window cloth. My husband actually used it first. He came in and he was just raving about this cloth. He's like, have you used this yet? I was like, no, we just got it. It's in a box. He said, just use water. That's so weird. And he was like, no, seriously, I just use water and it's never looked so good. He's like, so watch this. And I always joke, when your husband wants to demonstrate cleaning products for you, you let him. So he went all around the house. He got toddler prints off our stainless steel appliances, string cheese fingerprints off the glass front door, toothpaste off the bathroom mirror, all with the cloth and water. We were sold. We wanted more Norwex in our home, but it was not in our single income budget at the time. So I hosted a party. I got 31 items for free, over $550 worth of free Norwex. So as your wish list grows tonight, definitely consider hosting a party. It's a great way to build your Norwex collection at home and also to share such an important mission with your family and friends. And then 2 weeks after that party, I actually signed up to be a Norwex consultant because I loved everything and I wanted more things in my home. And the rest is history. It's been a huge blessing for my family. And if you have any interest in that, definitely let me know that as well, because I'm an open book and I'd be happy to tell you all about our business opportunity, which I believe is the best product that we have to offer. So for the Envirrocloth window cloth, now like I said, I didn't know better. I just got a window cloth. I highly recommend getting an Envirrocloth and window cloth together. They work together like Bert and Ernie, peanut butter and jelly. They really do truly go hand in hand. And I'm going to demonstrate that right now with some butter. So I'm going to take some butter and I'm going to wipe it on my mirror here. And you might be thinking, I don't smear butter on my surfaces, and I know that. I don't typically either, but you guys can imagine trying to clean this up with other products and what that might be like. So it would streak, smear, everything like that. And I want to show you how easily our Envirrocloth tackles that butter from that mirror. Okay, so here's that butter. We're going to just wipe up over the top with our Envirrocloth. Okay, picks it right up into our cloth. We'll go ahead and polish that whole mirror now. And then we're going to take our dry window cloth. So we're going to use this one dry and we're going to polish. And it's going to leave a streak-free finish every time. So no more window spray or paper towels. Okay, you get that bright, fresh, clean mirror there, okay? Now, the window cloth can be used on anything shiny. So windows, mirrors, granite, stainless steel. You can use it to polish anything like that. But I would, like I said, highly recommend first taking our Envirrocloth to get a good clean on your surface and then polish with a dry window cloth when you're done. So that's the Envirrocloth and window cloth. These come together in our basic package. Bert and Ernie love these two. Great duo, and they also make a great gift. The next thing in our Safe Haven 5 set is our dusting mitt. So our dusting mitt, these are great. They are super plush microfiber. They work with static electricity and allow you to dust without needing any product. So you have the super plush microfiber. I like to charge it up. So if I have just one, like say one that comes in my Safe Haven 5 set, I might charge it on my pant leg or rub the mitt against itself. Sometimes people buy one and then they end up getting one for hosting, and so they'll end up with two mitts. Then you could charge them together if you want to so that you're able to dust your home. Something else I love about the dust mitt is that my kids can use the dust mitt too. So I have a son, Walter, he's 5, Ruby is 3. And I love that they can put on dust mitts and help us clean our house, and that they can safely clean a lot of things in our house with Norwex because they're using cloths and water. So to demonstrate the dust mitt, I'm going to take, I just got this little black board here, and I'm going to use some flour. So this is just some flour. Charge up my mitt here. I'm going to sprinkle some flour on this board, and then I'm going to show you how this would clean up just like it would with dust. Okay. So it picks that up. I got a little bit more here. I'm a little flour happy. But you can see how it picks that right up into the mitt with that static electricity. So I love that. I love that we don't have to use any type of product that might leave behind a sticky residue and attract more dust and dirt. It's easy, it's simple, and like I said, your kids can do it too. So that's the Envirrocloth, window cloth, and dust mitt. And those 3 cloths together actually make up our household package, and you can clean about 90% of your home with those 3 cloths in water. Typically, I get to this point and people want to know, how do you care for these magical cloths, right? How do you care for these wonderful cloths? And they're easy to care for. You're going to wash in the washer, dry in the dryer. Between use, I rinse out under warm water, scrub the cloth against itself. You can use a squirt of our dishwashing liquid or our Norwex detergent if you'd like to get it a little hand clean. Wring it out and then hang it to dry afterwards. So for washing though, when it's time for them to go in the washing machine, you're going to want to wash in the washer, dry in the dryer with lint-free laundry. So like jeans, delicates, cotton sheets, or put all your Norwex together in a small load. And then you want to, the 3 no-nos are no bleach, no fabric softener, or no dryer sheets. And that's with any microfiber actually. So you don't want to coat those fibers when you want them to be cleaning up surfaces and removing that bacteria from the surface. So you want to use a filler-free type detergent. I love ours because there are no fillers in our detergent, so a little bit goes a long way. There's no fillers, phosphates, sulfates, chlorine, bleach, optical brighteners, no dyes, no fragrances. It's not tested on animals, it's biodegradable, and it's septic safe. So we have grown to love, love, love our detergent, not only for our Norwex cloths, but for all of our laundry in our house. And I know that you will as well. And we also have a liquid detergent if you prefer to have a liquid detergent, and our Safe Haven 5 set does come with the liquid detergent option. And it's great and long lasting as well. And then the final thing in our Safe Haven 5 set is our cleaning paste. Now the cleaning paste is nicknamed elbow grease in a jar, and it's for the really tough jobs. So the majority of jobs you're gonna be able to get with a cloth and water, and you're gonna be amazed at what you can clean with just an Envirrocloth and water. But every once in a while you do come across something where you need a little bit extra oomph. And that might be inside your oven, maybe your smooth top stove top or your gas top stove top, your shower floor, some dirty grout lines. I use it on my white fireclay sink once a week, things like that, right? That need a little bit extra scrubbing a little bit. So you might try our cleaning paste. Always test in a small conspicuous area if you're unsure if it's safe for that. But it can be used on chrome, plastic, ceramics, porcelain tiles, and similar materials. We've used it on our plastic patio furniture outside, on our the tiles in our bathtub, on our shower floor, and inside our oven. We've used it for all different things, but it's just that elbow grease in a jar. So here I'm going to write a smiley face on my bathroom floor tile. This is a real tile that we put into our bathroom. So typically you're thinking, what can I use to clean something up? I don't know about you guys, but every once in a while my kids do something that completely blows me away, and I'm thinking, how am I going to clean that mess up? Although I have to say, I'm much less fearful now that Norwex is in my life. I like those challenges sometimes. So if I have just a cloth, okay, it's not going to come off. But that cleaning paste, I'm going to take just my damp slightly abrasive, but it's gonna take that right off. And that is something I love about the Clean Place. It's also very long lasting. So the container I use and dig samples out of, so it's a little bit crumbly right now, it is actually over 2 years old because it's lasted me so long. It's not something that you have to use all the time, but it's something that really comes in handy, and it's a good thing to have around. And I love that it comes in our Safe Haven 5 set. So those 5 things come in our Safe Haven 5 starter set. All 5 of the things are in here. And then one of my favorite things is that you also get a little direction sheet that tells you what the product is, what it can replace, and the problem and solution for that as well. So if you are looking for a great place to start your Norwex collection, I highly recommend our Safe Haven 5 starter set. And then we have packages that are also bigger and some that are also smaller. So find that package that's perfect for you. Anytime you bundle, you're gonna save. And the last thing I want to show you guys is our Norwex mop. This is the most coveted item in our Norwex catalog. It's the #1 reason people host parties or join my team, because they want this mop free or discounted. So there are 3 ways you can get this mop. You can buy it. It's worth every single penny. You can host a party and earn it free or discounted with our host reward program. Or when you join my team as a Norwex consultant, it will come in your party starter kit. So let me know if you're interested in any of those ways, and I'd be glad to help you get this mop. So what is so special about this mop? First of all, something I love about it is that it has great warranty. And it has a telescopic handle, so it can extend up or down depending on your height. I'm 5'2", my husband is 6'3". I love that we have a mop that can extend to meet our needs and our sizes. You've got your mop head, you've got a yellow mop pad. This is your Sunny Yellow Dry, I think Sunny Yellow Dry mop pad. And then we also have a blue wet mop pad, so I think blue water wet for the mop pad. And now this is like taking a dust mitt to your floor. It's gonna replace your broom, it's gonna pick up the static, or it's gonna work with static electricity to pick up dust and dirt, crumbs, pet hair. And then our wet mop pad is like taking an Envirrocloth to your floor. And remember, our microfiber, when following proper care and use instructions, has the ability to remove up to 99% of bacteria from that surface. So I love our blue wet mop pad because I don't have to use any types of cleaners on my floor. I can use water in our mop pad and know that I am cleaning our surfaces. It's safe for my kids and for our pets, and I love that about Norwex. So the yellow mop pad, you're actually going to use a figure-8 motion on your floors. I love that it's quick, it's quiet, it's easy. And I love Facebook parties because I get to clean my own house. So going in a figure-8 motion, I'm picking up different things. Let me get a little bit more. All right. And if I have anything that doesn't stick to my pad, I'll just use a damp Envirrocloth to pick it up. But in the case of today, well, yeah, there's just a couple things. So I'll just take a damp cloth, pick up anything that didn't stick to my pad. That works really, really well. It pulls it right into it. And then I'll use our rubber brush for anything that did stick to our pad. So you can see some pet hair on there, some dirt, crumbs, and I'm just gonna sweep it straight off into our trash can with our rubber brush. This is still separate, but I highly recommend it for cleaning this yellow mop pad. It's also great for our dust mitt, our Envirowand, for your own rugs and furniture. I pull off my yellow mop pad, I put on my blue wet mop pad, and then you can mop your floors with water. Now you can either wet your pad down, bring it out, put it on your mop, and then mop your floors. Or if your floors are sensitive to water, or you prefer using a spray bottle, you can also spritz your floors with a spray bottle of water and then mop that way. Okay, super quick, quiet, easy, and effective. We've gone through a lot of mops before we found our Norwex mop, and we are very thankful. And in fact, I've had this mop for several years now. All right, so that's the Norwex mop in a nutshell. That's the Safe Haven 5 in a nutshell. Thank you guys so much for partying with me tonight. If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, and now breaking out of demo mode, just to give you some pointers for ending your party. So after I do my mop, I will often thank my host for joining our online, or for having the online party. And then I will encourage orders for that night. So I will say something along the lines of, thank you, Sally, so much for hosting this online party with me tonight. I've loved cleaning a house with you. Who says that? If you would like to place an order, the first 3 people who order tonight are going to get 15 entries into our drawing for a free cloth. And that's coming from me as a party giveaway. And anybody else before midnight will get 10 entries. Our party will close, and say when your party's gonna close. I often say 48 hours, and then I will extend it as needed. So I'll say our party will close in 48 hours. If you secure your party date, you're gonna get 20 entries into our drawing for a free cloth. And if you join my team, you're gonna get 30 entries, and maybe you'll get a free gift or something like that. Or you and your host will get a free gift. So there are some fun ways that you can end the party. and plant some of those seeds for booking or joining as well within your demo. So thank you guys so much. I hope that that this demo was helpful for you. Remember to keep it simple and be real. You don't have to go, you know, it doesn't have to be extravagant. You don't have to have your hair all done and, you know, tons of makeup on. You want to make it easy and duplicatable for other people as well. So thanks, guys.